Hello and welcome. I'm Lauren Lewis with Power for Parkinsons, and this is Young Onset Circuit Training class. Please be sure before you start this class that you are warmed up. If you run around your house, do something gently to warm your body up and prepare for exercise. There is a video that you can refer to, one of our videos that will put you through a full body warm up as well. So before you begin, please make sure you do that to stay safe. For today's exercise class, you will need a shoebox or a book, something that you can step over. We'll be using this to step over. You'll also may want some weights. You can use weights. I would say nothing too heavy, something that you can be holding over your head, and to the side we'll be doing flies and overhead presses. If you don't have weights but do want to add something, you can grab some water bottles or some cans. Everything we do can be done without weights. Just going through the motions, I promise, will get you the same benefit, or at least a lot of benefit. And the last thing you do need, you will need a sturdy chair for one of our exercises, okay? We'll be sitting and standing off the chair. So make sure it's sturdy and nearby. All right, so we're all warmed up. We're ready to go. I'm gonna put you through a circuit of 4 exercises. Each one will be focusing on large muscle groups throughout the body, and each one will also be focusing on common symptoms of Parkinson's disease. So let's get started. The first exercise we're going to do is a bear walk with a mountain climber. A bear walk is basically walking on all fours on the ground, and a mountain climber is a plank position, crossing your knee to your opposite elbow. So here's what it's going to look like. Starting down on all fours, your hands are directly underneath your shoulders, your knees are underneath your hips. You walk using opposite hands and limbs, opposite. You walk 4, let's do 4. Once you're at 4, you're gonna straighten out those legs and cross. Here's the mountain climber, cross 4 times. Everything's on 4 in this exercise. Bend the knees back to the floor using opposite hands and legs. Come back. Now to challenge yourself, you can make this a little more fun by taking those knees and instead of on the floor, just hover. I don't know if you can see this, but I'm about 2 inches off the floor. I'm not way up upside down, I'm just hovering. And you continue the exercise doing that. All right, I'm going to put on my music. 50 seconds on the clock. Let's have some fun. All right, so starting on the ground. See which one works for you. They're both good. You can hover or stay on the floor. Once you've done 4 steps, extend those legs, make sure you're in place, and go. What we're working here is core. You're working quadriceps. You're going to feel this in your quads and your chest and your shoulders. It's truly a full body exercise. For Parkinson's, we're working on that contralateral, working opposites, which a lot of people seem to lose because of the Parkinson's. So we're reminding the brain to use opposites. We're also pulling the knee toward the opposite leg, again, to remind ourselves for opposites. We're also working on full range of motion by extending those legs and arms. You can see where, there we are. All right, one leg at a time. Your stronger leg is up, hands on your thigh, lift up. How do we do on that? It's a pretty severe, pretty challenging exercise. It's one of my favorites. I really enjoy it. I like to share my favorite things with you. Okay, the next exercise we're going to do are called Arnolds. You'll need your weights or not for this exercise. This is an upper body exercise. So you're going to start with your arms together in front of you, about shoulder height, maybe just a little lower. We're going to open up those arms out to the side. And again, you don't want to go too far back. Just elbows slightly behind you, but your wrists in front. Reach all the way up to a full press. Stop here. From here, you're going to do 1 arm press and then come in. So it's open, 2 arms, 1 arm, and the other arm. This is very cognitive. You're going to have to think about that pattern. I'm going to show you another alternative, another challenge, but let's just get that going first. Music's back on, 50 seconds on the clock. Here we go. Open, push, 1 arm at a time, and then close. Once you get it, don't worry about going at my pace. Go at yours. Now to make this a little more challenging, as I said, it's always a little more fun to challenge yourself. Let's add a knee lift, an opposite knee lift with the alternating single arm press. Stay at your pace, do what feels right for you. If you want to work on balance, you lift that leg. If you want to work on just getting that pattern together, because that pattern can be confusing. Just work on the pattern. Working shoulders here, a lot of shoulder work. This is really an upper body exercise. Working on shoulders, chest, arms, biceps, and triceps are involved. And of course, when you add that knee lift, whoops, we also are working on balance because we're shifting our weight. There's our 50 seconds. All right, so the next exercise, good job. Next exercise, this is where we need the shoebox. So I'm gonna put that box right here on the floor. I'm gonna make it that way. We're gonna be doing squats over, lateral squats. We're going sideways, lateral squats over the shoebox. So we're gonna step over, make sure you have lots of room here because we're gonna do one squat, but then we're gonna come up all the way over and do a narrow squat, so our legs are together, sitting back. Remember, a squat is a sitting back position. Watch the knees, try not to let those knees fall forward. You're sitting back the entire time. So once again, step over, squat, step over, squat. All right, let's put on our music and our timer. And here we go. Nice wide squat, sit down, bring it back together, and sit. I always like to bring my hands in front. This is not necessary, you don't have to, but when I bring my hands in front, it allows me to really sit back, so I'm really getting into that glute muscle. And I'm keeping my knees safe. Now, in addition to being a leg strengthening exercise, glute exercise, for Parkinson's, it's a great exercise because it forces you or reminds you to lift your legs. A very common symptom of Parkinson's is shuffling or not lifting your legs. So this reminds you and trains the brain to lift. While we're strengthening those legs and lifting. You can go as fast or as slow as you want with this exercise. Your pace stays your pace. All right, there's our buzzer. Removing my box. For the next exercise, you're gonna need your chair and your weights if you want. The next exercise is a sit to stand exercise. I want you actually to unweight, to sit in the chair. So we're not doing a squat, we just did the squat. Now we're going from a seated position, no hands if you can, use your hands if you need them. That's not cheating, that's being safe. Hands can be here on your thighs to help you come up. And then from here, we're gonna do a fly, which is an outward motion, arms out to the side, and then a scarecrow. And a scarecrow, you're gonna take those wrists and bring them up. Try not to bring them too far back. That's why I like lighter weights for this, just from here to here. And then you're gonna bring them in and sit. So it's up, fly, scarecrow, and down. Up, scarecrow, and down. If you need your hands, no weights. If you need your hands, use them here, but then bring them out. The scarecrow is important. I'll explain that when we get started. All right, get that chair ready. Timer on. I'm gonna turn a little so you can see everything I'm doing. Legs are in front. I'm gonna sit, stand, scarecrow, and down. Up, scarecrow, and down. So what we're working here is quadriceps, working the entire leg, again, for gait, making sure those legs are remaining strong. By adding the scarecrow, which I love, we're also working upper back, and that's for posture. A lot of people find that their posture becomes very poor because of the Parkinson's. You start to slump over, your head comes forward. This is strengthening that upper back muscle, really working on that trapezius, that upper back, while we're strengthening the legs. Up. Good. And again, as I said, you can use those weights. Challenge yourself. And there's our timer. All right. All right, nice work. Please wipe off, get some water, and we're going to go through this circuit one more time. This time, I'm going to give you, in addition to thinking about what each exercise is and making sure your form is good, I'm also going to give you a little mental challenge, a little cognitive challenge. You may want to take part of it. It's just an extra challenge. You don't have to do this, but it makes it a little more fun if you're looking for it. We're going to start off with that bear. Down on all fours, walking with opposites, okay? And then you're going to straighten those legs and cross over to each side. The cognitive challenge for this exercise is circus, because I was thinking bear walk circus anyway. So I want you to think of just as many things as you can while you're going through the minute, things that you would see at a circus, all right? While you're thinking about using opposites, while you're thinking about getting that knee nice and high, while you're holding your abdominals in, strengthening your core. I think we got enough going on this one. Ready? Here we go. That opposite, going backwards, is really difficult for me. It stumps me almost every time. And that's okay. I want to be stumped. I want to challenge myself. If you don't challenge, you don't change. How we doing? That 50 seconds can feel really long, right? There it is, thank goodness. All right, one leg at a time, getting safe. Make sure you're safe. Hands on your thigh, keep your head above your chest. Your heart rate's definitely coming up from doing the cycle circuit. Arnolds are next. Open, press, alternating arms. Grab your weights, your cans, your water bottles, or nothing. This time, I want you to think about what you had for dinner last night, whatever it was. Hopefully it wasn't rice. And I'll tell you why. Because I want you to spell what you had for dinner last night. And then I want you to spell it backwards. Okay? And if you did have something like just rice, whatever you put on it, rice and butter, pasta and cheese, I don't know, whatever it is, spell it all out. And then if you have time, spell it all back. Okay? That's our challenge. In the meantime, it should be challenging enough just to remember the pattern, right, left, and then add that balance. It's all up to you. This is your workout. Challenge yourself. Reach one arm at a time. This is a tough one. Pull your belly in. Keep those arms overhead. Be aware of where your body is. Time. Quick weights. Down. Grab your shoebox. Next exercise, over the shoebox. We're stepping over. This time, every time you step over, we're going to count from 100 minus 3. So we're counting down by threes, all right? Get that shoebox on the floor. Make sure that you are giving yourself enough room to step over, counting by threes down from 100. Timer's on. Make sure you're sitting back, way back, even for the narrow ones. Do your best. Challenge yourself. Have some fun. Pick it up a little faster, slow it down a little more, whatever it takes to get through this. Make sure you're lifting your leg. Retraining, reminding the brain to lift those limbs. There's your time. Shoebox goes away. Chair comes out. Last exercise. I'm going to grab my weights for this one. Last exercise, we're standing, sitting and standing, coming up with a fly, scarecrow, down and sitting. You can use your hands to help you stand up. This time, I want you to think of jobs that you have to stand up for. I don't know, I thought it would be fun. Jobs that you have to stand up for. So either every time you stand, come up with one, or just keep naming them if you can. But also remember, you're thinking about balance, getting up and off the chair, safely, you're thinking about using those arms and using that upper back, pushing those shoulder blades down to really work on that strengthening your upper back. All right, 50 seconds on the clock. Here we go. And jobs you have to stand up for. It's always easy to come up with one or two. It's 50 seconds worth that's hard, right? Try to think about keeping those shoulder blades down, opening up your chest, working on posture, not just strength of leg, posture. While you're being good to that rotator cuff, try not to go too far back, just rotate. And there it is, our time. So that was our circuit today. 4 exercises done twice, each for 50 seconds. If you want to challenge yourself, do it all over again. Do a 3rd set, do a 4th set. Do as many as you'd like. This is a nice short exercise program that you can do and challenge yourself for as long. You can do one circuit and call it quits. You've gotten all your major muscle groups included, or you can do it 2 or 3 or 4 times. So I hope you enjoyed it. Let's stretch out a little before we go, just to be sure that we are safe and getting all those muscles extended and not lactic acid out of our muscles. We're going to start off with a quadricep stretch. I'm going to ask you to take one leg back, gently stretch. Put your weight on the chair or on your knee so that this does not become a muscular exercise. You're strengthening and lengthening the back leg. If you can, otherwise another way to do this is to grab that leg from behind. You're going to feel a nice lengthening of that leg in the front, and just hold it right here. And let's take the other leg. We're going to do the same thing. I'm going to take that leg from behind, and I'm going to turn my chair so you can see what I'm doing a little better. My body weight's on the chair, so I'm not putting any weight on the leg. I'm just trying to lengthen and stretch this leg out. If you want, you can get a little more out of it. You can lengthen and stretch the leg behind, but I tend to like that bent knee. I feel like I get a little more out of it. Not just my flexor, but the whole quadricep gets stretched that way. Or again, you can hold from behind. Let's just stay here for just a few more seconds while we're stretching it out together. All right. Coming back up, we're going to stretch the hamstring. One heel is down, the toe is up. You're going to sit back with your hips even. This is a different stretch. It's fine. There's nothing wrong with it when you push one hip back. But I'm going to ask you to try to keep your hips straight ahead instead of lifting or dropping one hip. Try to keep them straight. You'll see, I think you'll find that you do get a little better, I find I get a better stretch when I do it that way. Both are good stretches. We're just leaning into it. I'm using the chair for stability, for safety. You can do this with or without the chair. Hand is anywhere but the kneecap. Try not to put your hand on your kneecap. It can be on this one. This one's bent. And gently release. Let's switch legs. Heel down, toe up. Sit back, even out those hips. Lean into it, stretch out and enjoy this stretch. We're working on hamstrings right here, maybe a little calf behind the leg as well. Good. And gently release. Now I'm going through these stretches a little fast. You may want to hold on to them a little longer, just learning which exercise to do and then do them on your own. This one is called the number 4 stretch. You're going to do, it should look like a number 4. You can do this sitting or standing. If you're standing, that leg goes out to the side, your heel goes on your thigh, and you lean forward just like you did for the hamstring stretch. If reaching all the way up to your knee is not an option for you, you can bring that to your shin or all the way down to the floor. If that knee is out to the side, you're still stretching that glute. And you're just going to lean into it. I'm going to bring it back up here because I get a better stretch for me. I get a better stretch when it's nice and high. And I'm just leaning into it and trying to stretch out and lengthen and get all those toxins out of my muscles. Hold it right here. Anything really less than 15 seconds is not a great stretch, but at least you're stretching. And release. We're going to do the same thing to the other side. Try to bring that knee down to the side. That ankle, again, can be anywhere You can stand, you can sit, you can bring that ankle to the, against the other ankle. You're leaning gently forward and just breathing slowly and enjoying the stretch. Deep breathing in and out. All right, both feet down on the ground. You can do this sitting or standing. I'm going to stand. Get my chair out of the way. Bring both arms open to the side. Palms are nice and high. Let's open up the chest and shoulders from from the planks that we did, and all that shoulder work. We're just stretching out our abdominals, our shoulders, chest, biceps, and triceps. Open them all up. Hold it right here. Let's add a vocal exercise while we're doing this. Let's say the word ooh. Ooh. Great. All right, now we're going to stretch out the back. Drop your chin to your chest. Your arms go fully forward here. Try not to take your whole body with you because we really want to stretch out the upper body from the scarecrows. We want to stretch out that upper muscle. So we're going to drop the chin. We're going to stretch out the top of the shoulders here. Bring your chin down. Stretch forward without taking your whole body with you. And we've already done ooh. Now let's open the mouth and say ah. Ah. Great job. Bring those arms all the way overhead. Reach to the sky. Nice, big, long, lengthening body. Bring a little higher, just a little higher. Great job today. Thank you so much for joining me. We're going to drop those arms to the side and just give me a big yay because we are done. Yay! All right, thank you. Give yourselves a big hand. You did a great job today. Thank you for joining us, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Have a great week.